So this is going to be an instructional / overview video of the Dethleffs Trend. This is a 2017 plate, a used motorhome. For this video, it's mainly to highlight where all the main components are in the vehicle, like your drain valves, etc. First of all, we're going to go around the outside of the vehicle and then we'll go into the habitation area. Just to let you know, this vehicle is in the middle of PDI, so has yet not been valeted. First thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet, and this is just in case really if you need to get access to the bonnet area as well as where the terminal points are to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So to open the bonnet, you need to come round to the passenger door. If you open the passenger door, you'll see just at the side of the dash is the bonnet release catch. All you need to do is pull that down once and that will then release. So as you can see, I have now got the bonnet area open. And like I said, the main reason for this is just to show you where the terminal points are in case you need to jump start the vehicle. Here on the left hand side we have got your screen wash fill, and then to jump start the vehicle for any reason, it is quite hard to show you on camera, but under these tubes here there is a black cap that lifts up, and then that will be your positive terminal just down there, and then your negative terminal point will be just this nipple here, this bolt. That'll be your negative terminal point, like I said, in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So now I'm going to carry on taking you around the vehicle. As you can see, this vehicle does come with an awning. We will send a separate link on the email how to set up and use the awning. So we'll start on the passenger side. So right next to the passenger door we have obviously your diesel fill, so you just need to use your vehicle blade key and that will obviously give you access to fill up. Here is going to be your fresh water. So to fill up your fresh water, all you need to do is use the habitation key and basically put the hose pipe in once you've taken this cap off, and when the water starts to come out of this hole, that means your fresh water tank is full. Obviously you do need to shut all the valves in the vehicle, otherwise when you are filling up it's just going to empty straight out of the vehicle. Directly below that, as you can see, I've got the handle ready. This is where your grey waste drain valve is. So basically, obviously, that tube there, that is where your grey waste will come out. And you just need to use this grey handle to drain the valve, drain the grey waste tank. Basically, you put this on, and all you need to do is just twist it quarter turn, like so, and then twist it back to shut the blade. Next, we have your gas locker here. On this vehicle, it has been fitted by the previous customer, a gas load system. As you can see, we've got two tanks in here. You can turn it on by these valves of gas, and then obviously you've got a gauge here, a green gauge in effect. So obviously the thicker the green bar is, obviously the more full the gas tanks are. To fill up, you've got your connection here externally, so you just need to connect onto there, and there is some European adapters as well depending where you are going in the world. We have garage space on the passenger side, but I'll show you this on the driver's side because I've got it open ready. Obviously this vehicle does come with a bike rack which is in the garage at the minute. But if you do put the bikes on, just keep an eye on obviously the camera, just in case you're not going to block the camera from putting the bikes on if you do use that. Now on the driver's side, as you can see, I've got the garage open. There's a few things in the garage. Here we have got your toolkit, so that will have towing eye in there, etc. Here, as you can see, which I've already got attached, we have got your winder for your bed. So this island bed is adjustable in height. so you can lower it down to make it easy of use to obviously get onto the bed, or if you want to carry more storage to obviously to pack more equipment, then you can lift this bed high as possible, so it comes up to around here, so it gives you more storage height. To do this though, to lift it or to lower it, you need to release this mechanism here. So basically pull this towards you, that will then release. You can see the connections there are open. You'll wind the bed up and down. It's hard to show you with not having two hands free. You wind the bed up and down to your desired height, and then once you are happy, you push this and then they will close, and then in the middle of that mechanism there is some little bolts that slot into place, which are already connected. So that just saves the bed obviously moving. Also, if you do move the bed higher, you can lift these up as well, so it gives you more storage. Or obviously if you are lower down to hide obviously the bed, you can do that. And then obviously the previous customers fitted these here for the adjustable arm. Here we have got your main breaker, so you need to access this, especially if you're plugged into mains hookup at campsite. This is obviously your 240 volt side of things, so obviously when you plug in at campsite, if something has tripped, just check here. Other than that, 9 times out of 10 it is the campsite that has tripped. Most campsites do reduce the power they give you, so obviously if you are turning everything on 240 volt side, plugging everything in, you might potentially trip the campsite post. On this vehicle we have a Truma boiler, and then obviously we've got a Truma frost protect valve. Basically what this black valve does, if this valve detects that it's 3 degrees or less, it will automatically trigger. And then the other reasons for this valve is obviously this is where you trigger it yourself manually to drain the boiler. So you need to drain the boiler obviously through winter, obviously all the whole vehicle really, grey waste, fresh water through winter if you are not using it. It's just good common practice, just in case one weekend you don't manage to get away, and obviously at least the vehicle is drained and not going to freeze in winter. So this black valve is currently in the open position. How I know that is because this blue button down here is currently stuck out. To shut this, all I need to do is push that button in, but as you can see the button is actually not going in. The reason for that, I need to twist this valve on top. So if I twist this valve on top, this will now let me push this blue button in. So as you can see, that valve is currently in the closed position. So when you are filling up your boiler with water, your water will not drain out of the vehicle. If this valve is not shut when you are trying to prime your system in the habitation, then your water will drain just straight out of this vehicle from the hot side. If I am wanting to empty the boiler because I'm putting my vehicle into storage and not using it for a while, all you need to do is just twist this diamond valve on top. The blue button, as you can see, has popped out, and then all the water will drain directly underneath the vehicle out of the boiler. So as you can see, we are on the driver's side where the habitation door is. Here we have your Truma flue. So you just need to keep this clear at all times really, especially obviously when you are running on the gas, because this is where your fumes will come out and it does get quite hot. Next locker, we have your toilet cassette. So on your toilet cassette, if you want to empty and clean it, to release it, all you need to do is lift this orange tab up, lift it up and then pull the cassette towards you. Once you have got the toilet cassette out, what you need to do next is this orange nozzle. You just need to twist it out, take this grey cap off, and then to empty your cassette you just need to tilt up. If you put your thumb on this button, this rates it, so it lets air into the top of the cassette so all the fluids flow out a lot faster. Also, you can open this valve, the blade here, so obviously if you want to clean internally with a hose pipe. Once finished, obviously twist the nozzle back in, put the grey cap on, and then all you need to do is push it in, and then here all you need to do is make sure that this orange tab is securely down, then your toilet cassette is not going to move in transit. Here we have obviously mains hookup, which you can see I'm connected to shore, and then next here is obviously your external barbecue gas point. So there is a connector onto this which you push on, quarter turn, and that will give you your gas valve. And that is everything external wise. Like I said, I'll send a separate link on the email for your awning. Now we'll go into the habitation area. So as you can see, we are in the habitation area. First thing I'm going to show you is your control panel. So this is your control panel for the habitation. So you've got your master on and off on the left, so that will turn on obviously all the 12 volt system. The top left is going to give you your leisure battery level. The bottom left will give you your vehicle battery level. As you can see, this light here in the middle, so that light is indicating that I am connected to mains hookup. If this light doesn't light up when you do plug in, something has tripped. So either check your main breaker in the garage, or first thing is just check the campsite, because like I said, they will trip first. Top right will give you your level of your fresh water. It will light up here in blue. Currently this is empty. And then bottom right is your grey waste, which will do the same. It will light up on the right hand side. So that is your control panel for the habitation. Obviously if you switch off the master switches at the switch directly, then obviously they're the masters, so obviously they won't come back on when you turn on the control panel. Here we have your Truma control panel, so this is for your heating and hot water. Again, I'll send a separate link on the email of just this control panel of all the settings on this. This vehicle has been fitted with an AdTech Wi-Fi. Just so you know, this is the power switch. So if this is switched off, then obviously you'll have no power to the Wi-Fi and it won't work. Also, your user and password is here, and you can scan that QR code and connect directly, instantly to the Wi-Fi. And then obviously this has got a smart TV too. And then you use this arm here to release the mechanism, so it then obviously swings out a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to show you is your fresh water tank. So this is obviously under the bench seat for the two travelling seats at the rear. If you take the cushion off, as you can see I've removed the cushion. If you take the cushion off, the reason you need access to this is one, to shut the valve for the fresh water tank so it doesn't drain out, and then obviously when you are ready to empty, or if you want to drain down to 20 litres, then you'll need to get access to this area to do that. So this black valve here, this is obviously your valve to open and close for the fresh water tank to drain. Obviously you have got some instructions here, it is quite self-explanatory. So basically, to close this valve, you twist it to the left, obviously like so, and that will then obviously be closed. To open this valve to drain the water tank completely empty, it's 2 full turns to the right. As you can see here, 2 full turns will then open that valve, or your water will drain out. If you want to travel with just 20 litres, one to save weight, as well as obviously water splashing around in there, if you just twist this to the right a quarter turn, that will lift the valve up, and then obviously the water will drain out to a level of 20 litres roughly. And like I said, if you are filling up your fresh water tank, you need to access this to obviously make sure this valve is shut, otherwise your fresh water will just pour straight out of the vehicle underneath. Next we'll go over the cab area. There's nothing much really to go over, it's just really to show you obviously how the drop down bed works, as well as the swivel seats. So obviously driver and passenger have a swivel seat. To swivel the seats, you see this arm here. This is your release mechanism. So obviously you need to pull the mechanism, hold it while you are swiveling. Obviously as soon as it releases, then you can let go of this. But then that is how you will swivel the seats. Also down here will give you access to your fuses. So this is where all your 12-volt fuses are for the habitation area. So obviously if something blows, this is where you will need to come and have a look to see which fuse has blown, if that does happen. Your drop down bed at the front. To use this bed, basically what you need to do is fold these seats down. So basically you twist this lever here. That will then fold the seat down like so. You need to do this on both of them, and basically that just gives you more room for the bed to actually come down. Then you need to release it, and then it's just a manual pull down. So as you can see, if I've not moved the seat, I'm just going to hit the seat so it won't obviously fold all the way down to use, but it is straightforward to do this. Once finished, all you need to do is push it back up and then obviously put the safety clips back into place. Now we're going to go over the kitchen area. So on your kitchen we have a 3-ring gas burner, as you can see here. To use this, obviously you need to turn on your gas tanks, and then you've got these knobs here which obviously release gas, and you just need to use the igniter. Just press and hold in. It won't light because the gas is actually currently turned off. But basically you need to hold these knobs in while the gas is coming through while igniting, and you need to hold them in for about 30 seconds because it does heat up the thermocouple in the stove to stay alight. One safety advice we do recommend is obviously this glass cover. Just leave the glass cover up after using the stove just to let everything cool down. The reason for this, you could potentially shatter the glass because of the temperature difference. Here we have obviously your kitchen tap. Your tap is actually got a mica switch in it, so when you open the tap the pump will turn on. Basically what you need to do to prime your pipework system, your water system in the vehicle. To prime your system, first thing you need to do is close all the valves in the motorhome. So you need to close your grey waste, you need to close your fresh water tank, and you need to close your frost protect valve near the boiler. Once these valves are all closed, obviously you can fill up the fresh water tank. Fill up the fresh water tank full, or obviously to the desired level. Now I need to prime the system. All I need to do is just open this tap. I'm not going to keep this open because it is running the pump, and obviously you don't want to leave this running the pump when there's no water in, because you could potentially burn out that motor. So basically open this your tap on the cold side, and what that will do is the pump will kick in, send water obviously through the pipework to the tap, and once you get a steady flow on the cold side, you need to twist it to the hot side. When you twist it to the hot side open, basically what that's going to do is take water from your fresh water tank. That will go to your boiler first. Your boiler holds around 10 litres of your fresh water, and then from your boiler will come out through the taps. Once you get a steady flow on your hot and cold side of the tap, that means your full pipework water system is ready, primed to use. The only thing you will need to do is obviously your hot water side. That is controlled by the Truma control panel. So obviously if you've not switched that on your hot water side, then obviously you won't get hot water. It will just be cooled from your boiler as well. Here we have obviously an oven and grill. You've got a heat plate here which you can move in and out a bit. Same again is gas igniter, like so. In this cupboard here, just up there, we have got some internal gas isolation valves. So they are in the open position, so you don't need to do anything with them. But basically, them valves are just in case if one of the appliances goes faulty. So if the oven goes faulty, you can actually isolate that oven and still use obviously your stove and the fridge. Here we have your fridge freezer. So this fridge freezer is a 3-way fridge. To turn this on, just press and hold, and that will then light up like you can see. As you can see, it's gone to gas automatically. But if I want to select my source, I just need to press and hold this square button in here, and then it will flash once. So now I can go through with the arrows to select the source I physically want. So you've got A. So A is automatically select. So it will select automatically which source it has available. Next one, the plug symbol. That's obviously when you are connected to electric, to mains hookup. Next one, the battery. That is actually running when the engine's on. So obviously that doesn't run off leisure battery. That will charge from the alternator. And the last one is obviously gas. So obviously you've got gas low system, so you can leave it on gas most of the time. What I would do is put it onto auto. It's just trying to select the temperature. There we go. So A is for automatic. What I would do is always leave it on auto. So what auto will do, if I start the engine, it will automatically go to the battery. If I press this auto now, I'm trying to do this before it keeps saving the settings. If I press auto now, in effect, it should go to mains hookup because I am plugged in. I'll select my temperature. Halfway is enough usually, but obviously you'll determine how much you fill the fridge. As you can see, auto has gone to mains plug straight away. If I unplug from the motorhome, this will flash and it will go to gas because that's the next source it has available. And then if I start the engine up, it will go to the battery symbol. So like I say, A is the best one to use, but obviously you can manually override that as well. To shut this down completely, just press and hold, and that will then shut the fridge freezer down. Here we've got obviously your shower area. You've got a board here for in effect, so you're not tripping down the shower tray while walking while it's not being used. But you can take this board out, and then obviously this board is actually holding your shower screens in place. But you can take this out, well, you need to take this out, sorry, when obviously trying to use the shower. But it's just giving you the more floor space in the bedroom area. Here under the bed, as you can see, we've got some storage here. Here we have your toilet, and then obviously you've got a divider here, so in effect the toilet door is creating another divided space to obviously get changes and have a shower, etc. On your toilet, if you need to use your toilet, you've got a grey handle here. So this grey handle is obviously going to open the toilet cassette, so you need to open this when using, and then obviously shut this to save any smells coming up when not using. Down here we have got your toilet flush. So the blue button is going to use some water from your fresh water tank, and then this symbol here, what looks like a toilet cassette, that will light up orange/red when obviously the toilet cassette is full. When that indicates, then obviously drain it, empty it as soon as you can, depending what obviously you are doing. And then here is your light switch. So that completes the instructional / overview video of the Dethleffs Trend. Like I said, this is a 2017 plate used motorhome. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call.